in this video, we are discussing about psychology and psychology in relation to the social sciences.
Psychology. Did you know psychology is the scientific study of mind and behavior? Psychologists are actively involved in studying and understanding mental processes, brain functions, and behavior. Psychology and social science. Psychology deals with the human mind and behavior, bridging the divide between social science and natural science. Psychology majors study human development, social behaviors, and emotions, which draw on social science method. Why is psychology important in social science? Psychology is important in social science because it helps people in large part, because it can explain why people act the way they do.
One of the type of psychology is abnormal psychology. Did you know that abnormal psychology is the branch of psychology that is focused on abnormal or atypical behaviors and patterns of thoughts? Oftentimes, this branch approaches psychological abnormalities from a clinical perspective. Social psychology, however, examines behavior and patterns of thought within a social context. These are some examples of abnormal psychology. However, the lecturers and students challenge this, and the course title has now been changed to something that is more accurate and less stigmatizing. So from abnormal psychology, it is now clinical psychology and mental health.
Health psychology. Health psychology focuses on how biological, social, and psychological factors influence health and illness. Why is health important psychology? Health psychology is important part of managing the psychological and emotional impact that health and illness can have on your life.
One of the type of psychology is personality psychology. Personality psychology is a branch of psychology that examines personality and its variation among individuals. It aims to show how people are individually different due to psychological forces. Personality psychology helps people better understand the factors that play in a role personality. It also allows us to know more about how certain personality characteristics affects our behavior. For example, some traits are linked into higher levels of happiness and well-being. An individual personality will fall somewhere on the spectrum of each trait. And some of the examples of personality psychology is you might be in high extroversion or conscientiousness and agreeableness, but somewhere in the middle of the openness and neuroticism.
This is the one of the types of psychology. Educational psychology. Educational psychology is the study of how humans learn and retain knowledge. Primarily, the educational settings like classroom. Educational psychologists are concerned with children's learning and development. Example lugar, kami nga mga student is gagamit yung psychology. E nga no, unsaon na mo pagkatuon kung di mo gamit sa mind. Kung unsaon po na mo among behavior kung dili na mo gamiton sa insakto. So, mo nang kailangan jud na mo ang psychology para ma-develop na mo ang pagtuon sa eskwelahan og amo ang behavior para sa eskwelahan og para gid sa asa ka mo adto gagamiton jud na nato ang psychology. Right? So asa ta mo adto bisag sa mga bisag asa gamit gyud pud ta og psychology.
The other type of psychology is sports psychology. Sports psychology was defined by the European Federation of Sports in 1996 as the study of the psychological basis, processes, and effects of sport. Otherwise, sport is considered as any physical activity where the individuals engage for competition. And in sports psychology and social sciences, most people study sport and exercise psychology with two objects in mind. First is to understand how psychological and social factors influence an individual behavioral outcomes, for example, sport performance and exercise motivation. Sports psychology is a proficiency that uses psychological knowledge and skills to address optimal performance and well-being of athletes, developmental and social aspects of sports participation, and systemic issues associated with sports settings and organizations. The common areas of studying in sports psychology is personality. One common area of study within sports psychology is the relationship between personality and performance. Then, the athletic performance, to youth sports, coaching, team processes, organizational sports psychology, motivation in sport, and last, the recovery from injury. Sports psychology acknowledges the major impact of emotional and psychological factors that can have on athletes competing in sports. For example, is the confidence, self-esteem, motivation, and determination are just a few of the psychological components that can influence how an individual athlete or a team performs. Why is sports psychology important in our society? The definition indicates that sports psychology attempts to improve athletic performance and help athletes to concentrate better, deal effectively with competitive stress, and to practice more efficiently. The first major psychological theory is behavioral theories. Historically, there are two behavioral psychology theories: the methodological behaviorism and radical behaviorism. The methodological theory is the original behaviorism that established by Watson with the goal of predicting and controlling behavior. And the radical behaviorism is spearheaded by B.F. Skinner, agrees with the goal of the former but also accepts the organisms have innate behaviors. Nonetheless, behavioral psychology has advanced our understanding and numerous behaviors and led to a variety of techniques that continues to benefit the field, such as behavioral analysis, behavior modeling, or aversion therapy.
Humanistic theories is an outlook or system of thought that focuses on human beings rather than supernatural or divine insight. For example, sa isa ka bata. Yung isa ka bata mga nakaedad of 1 years old, kanang bitaw kung unsa bitay nakita siyang family nga batasan or kanang behavior, kanang bitaw iya bitaw maawat, kanang iya bitaw kung unsay ang behavior siyang family mo pay maawat niya nga na ang humanistic psychology.
The last major psychological theory is biological theory. The biological perspective is a way of looking at psychological issues by studying the physical basis of animal and human behavior. It is one of the major perspectives in psychology and involves such things as studying the brain, immune system, nervous system, and genetics.
describe behavior. Ang behavior ay mo rin ka ng sigurado nga kabantayan na natunog nakita na ito nga ginabuhat sa bantao. For example, lugar nga may galikod-lingkod kanang nagtindog or kanang istorya sila sa uban. Wala siya nga na example sa behavior.
Change or improve human behavior. Behavior may define a person the way they act, how they react, and the way they socialize others. Because emotion are behavior and also action are behavior. And the nature of human behavior is to be good and righteous. Example, kung ikaw na ay nabantayan sa imong kaugalingon nga beside or negative attitude, so it means you need to change this behavior from bad to good by changing your mind setting, because humans are able to change their behavior by improving self-characteristics.
Behavior, batasan na imong ginapakita.
Predict behavior. Predict, making prediction based on how people previously thought and act in the third goal of psychology. By analyzing past observed behavior, psychological studies aims to predict and anticipate how a certain behavior will appear again in the future. Example, nagunahuna ka sa imong buhaton sa future before ka mag-act. So, therefore, before magbuhat sa imong buhaton, mag-una imong hunahuna. So, mao siya ang predict behavior.
Visualize your dreams and ambition. Ang pag-visualize sa imong dreams and ambition by una nimong bato na example, try to make yourself comfortable sa isa ka lugar or imagining ka nga mo na naabot yung dreams and dahil nung sugod din motivate na rin ka sa yung dreams and ambition sa kinabuhi.
Dare yourself to achieve more. You should never give up on anything you may give 100 times, but one day you will surely pass. If something that you're doing does not challenge you, and does not change you, of course, since every one of us has room for improvement, this can also mean if you don't change yourself, then you cannot be responsible for changing your situation and life. Example, i-encourage ang imong kagalingon nga kaya hun every challenge or every struggle. So, that whatever how big the problem nga moabot sa imong life, kay kaya ra kaayon nimo. So, in other words, self-motivated.
Stay motivated. Para maabot nimo imong mga pangandoy, dapat permi na kay motivation.
One of the example of psychology in every life is asking for help and get it. Most people associate asking for help with weaknesses. While it is true that there are people who would rather live on handouts than try their hardest to achieve something, asking for help isn't always a sign of weakness. The example for this is I am courting for someone and I am asking for help in my classmate to help me to cope up some courting in someone that I like too. The other example is I am asking my elder brother or sister for some help because in calculus topics I can't get it naturally with all myself. So I ask them some help to make that topics.
This is the one of the example of psychology and every life. For example, lugar. Akong friends is kanay bitang pangit siya pamatasan dayon na siya problema, na siya isa ka problema jud nga jud niya masulbad. Uno niya pag una-una nga jud niya makuha. So ako siya miignan sa akong own opinion nga tarungon niya iyang pamatasan, iyang gamiton sa insakto. Dili siya magkanay bitaw pagpangit siya batasan. Iyang kuan bitaw gamiton niya pag-ayo o kanang bitaw sa pangit siya batasan. Iya bitaw kuan nga kailangan ma-develop niya kung batasan na insakto, kailangan kung batasan is masyada. Ana. Tapos kana bitaw yung problema, yung isa ka problema, kailangan nga yan pinanghuna-un nga unsaon pagsulbad. O kailangan kay nga problema is masulbad din ako. Hindi kailangan din na una-un. O tapos moto kana na yung nabago siya kay tungod sa pag-ingon nga paingon nga kailangan nga pag-uon niya iyang pamatasan sa sakto nga pamaagi. O kanang huna-un niya tanan ayaw nga niya yung problema kung unsaon niya pagsulbad.
Process thinking process ay isang mekanismo nga gahatag sa isa sa katao kung halubilo sa uban. Ang istorya bahin sa kanang cause and effect sa lugar sa relasyon. Lugar kaning kwan ba muna yung process thinking muna si gatag sa ito nga makasolve ta sa problema sa uban. Ang pag-iisip o thinking ay nag-approve na siya nga work niya po ng kwan ba kaalaman muna siya gatag sa katao na makabuo o katabang sa katao makabuo mga alaman mga ideya solve lagi sa problem.
Unconscious process. Unconscious process operates outside the person awareness and play a major role in the directing thoughts, feelings, and behavior, and of course in triggering mental illness. Examples, this is a process kung ang utok ng isang tao ay hindi gumagana ng maayos or consider as mental illness at naapektuhan nito ang kilos, salita o emosyon ng isang unconscious katulad na lang ng depression.
Biological process. Ang only approach sa psychology naga-examine sa thoughts, sa feelings o behavior.
This is the one of study guides for psychology students. Learned behavior. Learned behavior is the one that an organism develops as a result of experience. For example, lugar, basketball, di ba? Kailangan pa ta mag-practice o kailangan pa natutunan ato ang behavior. Kung unsaon kay kung malay na nato tong behavior, ayan na din ta mag-kuan na nga basketball kay susad kung mag-apil-apil ka na tapos kung makuan pildi mo nga nangyari yung pamatasan. So kailangan yun na dawat-dawat lang bitaw nga na kailangan nimo kung ansa nimo imong behavior ay ha ka mag-apil ana nga dula. Or apil po dapat ana sa mga kanabitang pag-practice sa kanabitang mga instrument like kanang guitar. Di ba if mag-practice ka guitar kailangan pa nimo tunan kung unsaon yun. At nga na po na siya, apil po na siya sa learned behavior. Kailangan pa nimo tunan din nimo. Kailangan nga gigit ka mo sa puton bitaw dito sagara kay magkuan na sa kanabitang instrument, kanabitang guitar kung kuan na kay di siya makabalo wala bitaw. Hindi na sa puton. Okay, diba? So, muna siyang learned behavior. Kailangan pa nimo